Welcome back, everybody, to this game called Stratego. We are fighting the second Region Lord. So who are you coming bearing that flag? Is the war you seek? Then come on, have at it. So we are going to continue along with this game. We're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible, if possible. I obviously do not know. Excuse me. Stars. I don't know what's behind, you know, quote unquote, door number 1, door number 2. Well, that was fortuitous. Not usually. You don't usually have a situation where you immediately run into a spy. There's certain things I do know about each mission. Right now we're sort of still in a tutorial mode where we're kind of learning about the game, and they're giving me more and more access to different units, whether that be, you know, colonels or generals. The other thing I've kind of learned about this AI is this AI is not reckless, but the problem with it is it's too conservative. It doesn't really push when it has an advantage, which is fine. I mean, I don't want the game to exactly be like, okay, I've calculated perfectly how to defeat you every time, no matter what you do. There is a major general around here, so I have to be careful I don't accidentally run into him without my spy being close by. So this is sort of what I'm doing right now. I see. Draw. I don't want to end up in a situation where the whatever you want to call it, number 10 unit is suddenly. So yes, there's a major. One of the things I don't want to run into is a situation where, and you know, you might think that the guy that's running around down south might be a weaker enemy, but that's not guaranteed, because sometimes the computer will run away with a 9 or a 10. So, yeah. I do like Stratego. It's just that one of the things about Stratego is that the game very much can get away from you. Particularly if some of your stronger units get taken. You know, if you have a major general and you lose your major general to a spy, you know, and, you know, it's sort of like having a queen in, you know, being a queen up in chess. You have a major advantage, but it really depends what you've, in the game of chess anyways, it really depends on what you traded for that. If you traded, you know, you trade your bishop pair for that, yeah, maybe it was worth it. You trade your bishops and your, you know, and your knights, not so much anymore, you know. Or if you trade your both rooks for a queen, you didn't make out that well. So another thing that is great about Stratego is, if we are playing a normal Stratego game, is that you can hide the flag anywhere. So you could, typically people like to hide it in corners, you know, to make it more difficult for the players to find. But again, you can end up in such a situation where you think it's in the corner, but it's actually, you know, hidden, say, you know, diagonal for, or let's say left of where that number 6 is, where the major just came out of. Because it's technically protected on, you know, all 4 sides, even though, you know, one of those sides is not accessible for you. You know, sometimes you'll run into that situation where you've got it sort of hidden in an odd area which you wouldn't expect. But in most cases, you'll either find the thing is either being hidden in a corner because it only has to be protected by 2 bombs, which means you could spread your bombs out elsewhere, or it is, you know, somewhere in the center, you know. And by center, I mean it's not in a physical corner, you know. Yeah, so just because he didn't get attacked doesn't mean that that is a safe move to take that. So, and I'm also, even though I took the spy already, I'm kind of hesitant to trade my major generals right now. And I kind of don't want my spy to go to waste either, at least until I've taken the major general off the board. Then I'll just sack him. He's not important anymore. When we get to the second campaign, not this one, but the second campaign, he's dead either way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need this miner, so yeah, move the miner up. You get to move over. You get to move down, and then we're gonna pin you, I think, between the two. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's a bomb. Yeah, we gotta kind of clean this out. It would take that bomb that's directly north, what I presume is a bomb directly north of my miner, but he would immediately get taken by the guy that just moved away, so that's the thought process there, is that we want to get any unit that can take a 3, which would be anything that's not a scout. Yeah, so we're good to go here. There's flag. We done did it. Another victory. You're getting better and better. 2 more to go. This will be easy. Congratulations. So we've got 2 more dukes or whatever. My lord, I've assembled a strike team. Built enough to topple the enemy forces and go for the flag. I heard that the enemy has reinstated the new marshal. You can counter him. I will end him. So this is very much is going to be a challenge mission because I've got my marshal, and I've got 1 6, 1 7, 1 8, and then 3 miners. So this is going to be kind of interesting how this proceeds because I do not have a spy, apparently. So that means I'm going to have to trade. Probably if there's a marshal on the field, I'm going to have to trade them, you know. Ideally, we don't want that to happen. That's a pin. Yeah, it's a colonel. That's sort of I sort of expected that to happen. Yeah, that was a bad move. We're just gonna leave you here, I think, for right now. And then once you move, then we're gonna have to. So we want to keep him on the other side of the bombs, because if he moves down and takes my miner, I'm in trouble. That's a dead guy. I'm guessing there's probably a lot of bombs here. That's a scout. When they move more than one space, they've given away that they're a scout. Yeah, die. The hard computer doesn't usually run into bombs. They practically know where they're at. Oh, there's the flag. Lucky me. Excellent, men. We'll venture the last lord and ensure our victory. That took me 2 minutes. Alright, we're gonna move on to the next dookie here. From excellent, just one more regnant lord stands in our way. Filling your destiny. Do not fail me now. Make you pay for all the lives you have taken. Interesting. So this is more or less unless I'm mistaken, this is a real, straight up mission, where you have he's got a full army, I've got a full army, but the only difference is that the blocking blocks are in different positions. Usually they are squares in the middle of the field, so that's okay. We should be able to power through this without too much trouble. Once I figure out where their stronger units are, we should be able to take them out. But it'll really sort of depend on what engagements I take. That was a mistake. Obviously the scouts don't really matter much to me. They can be sort of powerful at the end of the game. That's why you sometimes see people put them in their back rows, because you know, they have the ability to move infinite number of squares, north, south, east, west, as long as they don't run into another enemy or blocked or whatever. So they tend to work really well at the end of the game when you've more or less got the flag open or in your sight, and you just sort of need to make a quick move down the field to secure the flag before the other team, the other player, finds your flag. So, but they're more or less throwaway pieces in in most cases. Particularly early on, that's fine. I mean, losing a scout is fine. They're more preferable for information gathering purposes, so you know, that's a bit of a risk that I put that 7 there, because if he had his 8, 9, or 10 there, I would have lost that unit. But this is in a nutshell Stratego, where right now I've got a 7. I'm not really sure what's around me right now. Yeah, I could have taken that sergeant without much trouble, and then eventually I'm going to run into one of the 2 8s, a 9 or a 10, and that'll be it. But the hope is you find... Yeah, you kind of want to find the marshal. That's lucky though, because I'll just take him with my spy. And his most powerful unit's off the field now. So now I've got a major advantage. If I can find the spy now, my major will be basically invincible except for bombs. Which hopefully I won't have to use my major or field marshal to yeah, I would have lost that 7 there. I need to move. I think I need to move 8 over 1. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh, wow. Alright, you're dead. The issue there is now he knows where my 10 is. So, is what it is. Just have to sort of keep an eye out for a spy. Can certainly take the spy out with any unit, including my big number 10 guy. But strangely enough, this is a game that I never owned as a child. Like, we had a lot of board games we used to like to play as kids. Yeah, that was expected. There's a lot of board games we'd like to play. One of my favorite is the classic version of Life. I think that game is so much fun. It's a lot of randomness, yeah, and you know some of it is a little is a fair amount of gambling, I'll say. You know, you're gambling with your money, um, you know, an effort to try to become at the end of the game a millionaire. Um, and then even if you're losing, say you're completely out of the game, there's no way you can remotely win the game. The game gives you this ability to basically put everything you own on one number. It's a 1 in 10 spin. If you spin it, the game ends. So you pick any number, 1 to 10, you spin it, and you know it lands on any other number. It's, you know, like I said, 9/10 chance it lands on a different number. If you happen to land on any number, you could have $1 to your name in Life, and you land, and you that's just it. You put it all on one number, millionaire, and you end up with what they call a millionaire tycoon. Or you play the long game where, you know, you think you have enough money based on the way the game's going, you know, how much money you've made throughout the game, and you're looking at the other players, and you know, you can more or less use, you know, a bit of strategy, obviously, to look at it and go, okay, you know, he's got, I'm trying to think what, I think the biggest number, I think the biggest currency in, at least in my version of the game, is $100,000. So you're looking at him and you're like, okay, he's probably, or she's probably got, say, 5 of those whites, and then maybe some greens, which is 50,000. So you can get it without physically. I don't know what house rules are. The house rules are you got to keep track of what your opponents are doing. None of this bullshit where I point to you and say, well, how much money do you have? You're either keeping track or you're not keeping track. And then you can sort of, you know, figure out where you stand towards the end of the game and then make a decision. I got enough money. I think I can do this. And, you know, if you're the first player, you get all kinds of different little bonuses. You get all kinds of bonuses for being the first player to get to the end of the game. So that gives you an advantage as well for being quickest around the board. You know, and then there's a couple spaces in between, like the near end of the game and the very end of the game, that you can really just rack up a lot of money. But to sort of get to the point, you know, the game's always interesting because no matter what point you are in life, you know, you have the ability to, you know, kind of turn it around and, you know, make, you know, win, you know, pull victory or jaws or defeat out of the jaws of victory. Oh boy, I screwed that one up, didn't I? It's pull victory out of the jaws of defeat. So that's sort of what, you know, I'm going for there when I say that. That's a draw. Which is fine. You basically want to try to create a situation where you're either preferably winning or drawing, you know. So yeah, I'm just kind of using my 10 right now to kill off shit. I don't care if it's a lieutenant or a minor or whatever. Is, you know, as long as I don't put him directly in harm's way of the spy, will be good. Because if it moves, it can take it on. So yeah, it's major. So that was a draw. So, you know, he's basically invincible, short of bombs, and the bomb will kill anything except a miner. So We'll just take this out real quick. I don't actually know where this thing is. That was to be expected. We're just trying to figure out what is and what is not a... So, obviously bombs don't move. That, however, did move, so that means I can bring you... I was going to say, I could bring you down in between the two and create a pin where either A or B dies. But at the same time, I'm trying to be a little bit cautious here. Because if I put myself directly next to the spy, he will take my Major General. So this is an example of a split here. So there's a miner I could take out. And there's a rule in this game where you can't move back and forth indefinitely to try to create what in a chess game would be a stalemate. So after so many moves, you're required to make a different move. There's Lieutenant. Pretty sure that guy directly north of my Major General is a bomb. So yeah, we're gonna go left here first to see if these are bombs. And then we're gonna try to take this corner. So this is likely where the flag is. Sometimes that's here. Marvelous. Onward to the castle, you accept your reward. Reward. Mean releasing the king and making the baron answer for all of this. Alright, we're gonna cut the episode. When we come back, we're gonna do the last mission. So until then, I hope you guys have a good one.